Hi Sagittarius, welcome to your love reading for July 2017. You had a jumping card when I was properly shuffling, and it is the Four of Cups. So I feel like some of you may be feeling a little unhappy with the state of your relationship. Some of you may feel a little bit bored. You feel like you want to spice things up. We will see if this card comes up again and see what the message is. I'm also going to pull one or two. We'll see how much time I have. I'm going to pull a couple cards from the Psychic Tarot from the Heart. I did not do this for some of the other signs, so I hope they don't get mad. I only did it for Virgo. I did not do it for the other signs. So you're getting an extra. Okay, I've already shuffled. Let's go ahead and get 9 cards for you. This is a love reading for the sign of Sagittarius for July 2017. The first card you have is something in reverse, or am I holding the deck in reverse? Okay, it's me. It's not you. You have the Knight of Swords. Love reading for Sagittarius for July 2017. That's weird. I keep picking up the deck in reverse. I don't know why I keep doing that. That's very strange. You have the King of Wands. Okay, they're upright this time. Love reading for Sagittarius, July 2017. Maybe that's some type of message. We'll see. Eight of Swords. Love reading for Sagittarius, July 2017. The Emperor. The Eight of Wands. The King of Pentacles. The Seven of Cups. Three of Wands. The Hermit. Okay, so the card at the bottom of the deck is going to represent the main energy around your love life for July. And you have the Temperance card. So this is a message to keep everything in balance. It's a major arcana, and it means kind of try to stay low-key. I don't see anything too terrible here in this reading, but this is an energy saying stay calm, be very patient, be very compassionate. Okay, so let me adjust the cards for you, and we're going to take it one row at a time. After I do that, I'm going to try to connect the energies and see if there's any kind of repeating messages in these cards. Okay, so the first card that you have is the Knight of Swords. So I always feel, and so far with all the readings that I've done, I've always been right. The first card is very significant and ties in with the rest of the reading. It's almost like the main energy. And you have the Knight of Swords. So to me, this card represents a lot of things happening for you in the month of July. This is not a time where you're going to feel bored. You may have to kind of pace yourself as far as like your reactions, how much you're trying to accomplish. Some of you are getting a relationship back on track. But the Knight of Swords does represent a lot of things happening, a lot of new developments. It also represents you or your partner being really impulsive decisions, impulsive actions. A lot of things happening for you in July. Now, you also have a Court card here. You have the you have the King of Wands. So this is your energy. This is your energy, and what you are surrounded by here, this is interesting. You have the Knight of Swords here, and then over here you have the Eight of Swords. So now it definitely makes sense why you have Temperance as the kind of like main energy. The Eight of Swords, it does represent feeling stuck. You feel like your hands are tied behind your back, and you feel like there's no way out of a situation. And I feel because this card is next to your energy, and then over here, there's this energy of a lot of things happening, a lot of new developments. I feel like there's something that you really want to push forward. So for some of you, there could be someone that you're very attracted to and you want to start a relationship with them. There could also be, for those who are already coupled, You may want to be pushing, towards marriage. You may feel like this is, my life partner. I want to get married. I want to move in. Some of you may want to have children. You may kind of feel stuck like, I'm tired of being in this phase in our relationship with the Eight of Swords. I'm ready for movement. I'm ready for action. But remember, the main energy is telling you to pace yourself. Try not to push things too far, too soon. Now here, you have the Emperor. You have a major arcana, and the Emperor does represent a firm foundation. So if you're trying to build a relationship, let's say if you're trying to start a family, that's the first thing that comes up. What you really want is starting a family, make sure that your relationship is at the place where you're really ready to have that family. If you're going to get married, make sure that your relationship has kind of a solid foundation, that you really understand each other. This also means for some of you taking back your power. The Emperor is all about control and stability and a firm foundation. So I feel like for some of you where you really want to make things happen, you have to have that firm foundation. Now what's interesting here is that you have another court card. You have the King of Pentacles. So for some of you, this could be your partner. For those who are single, this can be somebody new coming into your life. You also have the Eight of Wands right in the middle. So this energy, the energies are connecting right here. These three right here, they're connecting. The Eight of Wands, it does represent a lot of action, a lot of movement, a lot of exciting changes after being in a really low-key place. So I feel like for those who are patient, you are really seeing the developments that you want to see. I don't ever say kind of beginning, middle, the end of the month, but I kind of feel like in the beginning of the month that you're anxious and you want to see something happen. For everyone, it's going to be something different. You've been waiting and you feel stuck. You're ready for action. And I feel for some of you, yes, in the middle of the month, you might get that surprise. For some of you, it could even be communication, a message, maybe someone from the past. Someone who is an earth sign. Whatever this is, whether it's someone from the past or your current partner or someone new, there has to be a firm foundation with the Emperor being there. You really have to feel in control. So for those of you where it's someone from the past, don't allow yourself to give this person too much power. Make sure that you really kind of feel in control of your emotions. For those who are already coupled, where you're married, you're living together, you're kind of hoping that things will improve in your relationship. I definitely see that happening with the Eight of Wands. But they are encouraging, especially if there's a kind of wishy-washy energy around you or your partner or the relationship in general, there has to be more stability. Somebody has to take control of what is happening here. Now down here, you have the Seven of Cups. So this does represent for some of you feeling really confused about what's happening in your love life in July. There could be confusion, as far as like why things are not happening. The message continues here with the Three of Wands. This is a message of waiting, and this is a really positive card that that you're being optimistic. So for some of you, yes, some may feel like their hands are tied behind their back with the Eight of Swords, and you feel like I'm trying to get this person to commit to me. I'm trying to get them to come back to me. But for some of you, you're really kind of feeling like, something could happen that gives you hope. With the Three of Wands, this is waiting for the perfect opportunity to come your way. There is a sense of confusion here with the Seven of Cups. You're confused about how this is going to happen, but I feel like some of you are really optimistic about things falling into place. You also have the Hermit. So the Hermit, another major arcana, and this is a message that's telling you that you really need to think things through very carefully, do a lot of soul searching. So let me just bring up these two cards. There's a sense of confusion here with the Seven of Cups, and then there's the need here to really kind of figure out what's going on in your love life, what's going on in your relationship. The Hermit is all about soul searching and trying to really see the truth, kind of from a spiritual perspective. For some of you, you may be taking back someone from the past. This could even happen at the end of the month. Like I said, I never, if you watch my readings, I never do beginning, middle, end of the month, but I'm just getting that for you. I feel like you could be really confused about perhaps taking somebody back or about accepting an apology. There could even be more than one person in your life in July. This can represent too many options for you. There's a need to take your time with the Hermit. The Hermit is all about solitude and searching, and this definitely ties in with this message here, the main energy of temperance. Nothing extreme in the month of July. Everything in balance. Don't rock the boat. There's something that you need to look at very carefully with the Hermit. There is some type of hidden truth. There's a lot of soul searching that you have to do. And I feel like, it's, for some of you, it's something you have very much been waiting for. Some of you, very optimistically, you've just been waiting for the perfect chance, maybe to meet somebody new, and then that person comes in. But you have to make sure that's the right person, or it's someone from the past. But you have to make sure that you can trust this person. Again, with the Emperor here, you want to make sure that any relationship, whether it's the past or your current partner, that there is a sense of stability, there's commitment, that you're not giving all your power away to this person. There is a very kind of positive message so far of things happening for you, but I feel like there's a need to be patient, and there's a need to really kind of look at things very carefully with the Hermit, and definitely make sure that you have kind of a firm foundation in the relationship. Okay, let's see what other messages come up for you. What other messages are there for the sign of Sagittarius for July 2017? You have the Five of Wands, the Nine of Swords, the Tower. Wow. So these are three dramatic cards, especially with everything that we've been talking about. So you have the Five of Wands. This does represent sometimes fighting. There's, a lot of arguing, bickering. This is a very petty energy. So for some of you, this gives us a little bit more insight into what's happening to some of your relationships. Maybe not everybody. There could be a lot of fighting and arguing where you feel powerless to stop this, with the Eight of Swords being here. You want to get out of this energy, with the Knight of Swords being the first card. So this definitely ties in with the Emperor, of you taking back your power. You may be confused as far as, like, do I want to be with this person? Or how is this relationship going to change? Are they going to change? The Five of Wands, it's either fighting, bickering, or you kind of feeling the differences between you and your partner. It can also be egos clashing. You want different things. You also have the Nine of Swords here. The Nine of Swords does mean, a lot of worrying. I feel like you could be doing a lot of thinking about the relationship, but the more you think about it, you could be very concerned, like you don't know what to do. Remember that the card that jumped for you that I don't see here was the Four of Cups, which did mean, it does mean that someone's feeling unhappy about their relationship. So far from what I see here, that does tie in. So I feel with the Nine of Swords, some of you are very worried about the state of your relationship. It could be that you're worried about the fighting, the differences, or you're just confused in general as far as continuing, or maybe why things are not happening. You also have the Tower, and technically it is the last card from this deck. So the Tower is a major arcana, and this represents, a sudden turn of events, kind of a shocking change. Now it's right here next to the Hermit. So I feel like for those that take the time to soul search, to see what you really want from your existing relationship, what you want from your love life, what you kind of gather, what you learn may surprise you and it may surprise others. You may come up with a solution. This could be, just kind of a shocking insight. You may come to the conclusion, that what has been causing the problems in your relationship, or some of you may feel like you really don't want to do this anymore. With the, seeing these three cards, Five of Wands, Nine of Swords, the Tower, Some of you may really be tired of the fighting, especially if this is something that has been going on for years, where you really don't want this to happen. But for some of you, I see some type of shocking turn of events, perhaps after some major soul searching. Okay, let's see what other messages come up for you from this deck. What other messages are there for the sign of Sagittarius for July 2017? You have the 10 of Cups. Other messages for Sagittarius. Let's go with this one here. You have the Emperor again. So this is a repeating card. Ironically, it is right next to the other Emperor. I always kind of find that interesting, and that is not a coincidence. Let's go with this one right here. The Page of Wands. And at the bottom of this deck, you have Justice. So Justice, this card comes up when something has happened that is not fair to you. There has been some type of injustice. Things are not balanced, especially, you know, with the main energy being Temperance. Temperance, again, is keeping everything in balance. So for some of you, something's definitely out of balance in your relationship. There has to be an apology. Perhaps, you know, this energy that I see right here with the 8 of Swords, the 5 of Wands, the 9 of Swords. This could be an apology coming to you either from someone from the past or from your existing partner. This is kind of righting a wrong. This is in some way healing a relationship where someone has really been hurt or just, like I said, done wrong. You have not been treated fairly. Now you do have the 10 of Cups here. So the 10 of Cups, this is very encouraging, because this is telling you that you can have that happily ever after that you have been hoping for, whether it's with somebody new, someone from the past, or an existing relationship. This is a family. This is a relationship. This is marriage. This is children. But you also have the Emperor again, and like I said, right next to the other Emperor. So this is a repeating card, 2 different decks. When this happens, and it's happened a few times this month, this is kind of like your main message from this reading. And like I said, the Emperor is kind of emphasizing stability. So if you kind of feel like your relationship is all over the place, there's a need for this kind of balancing energy of justice and temperance. But this also means that you have to take control, especially if you feel like you're being done wrong. Things have completely gotten out of control. I feel like you definitely, you know, with the Knight of Swords being the first card, you're anxious for things to change. But I do feel that, you know, with the second row here, just like I mentioned, I feel like things change kind of like in the middle of the month, when you're really kind of taking control of the relationship, perhaps bringing things up to your partner, taking action. The Emperor 2 times, this is probably the most important message for you. For singles, this can even be somebody coming into your life that is older, someone who is financially well off, someone that is kind of a very wise soul. Now down here you have the Page of Wands. So the Page of Wands, this is, you know, telling you that there's a lot of change and excitement headed to your way, whether you're single or in a relationship. It does represent communication. For some of you, this is good news. So for those of you that maybe you've been separated from a partner and you're hoping to hear that yes, they do want to work things out, this is a good omen for you. This represents good news and kind of change and excitement. But in general, this is a very positive card of movement. So that's, you know, very encouraging, because the first message was a Knight of Swords. You're anxious for things to happen, new developments. You want to see things change, but you feel powerless in changing that. The Page of Wands means that, you know, things will be looking up. This is things finally turning around for you. Okay, like I said, I'm going to pull some, just to give us a little bit more insight, some cards from the Psychic Tarot from the Heart, but I am going to read them more of like oracle cards. I've had this deck for years and I have never used it. I've never connected with it as a tarot deck, but lately I have been using it for myself. It's kind of like an oracle card message. So I've already shuffled, focusing on your on your sign. Let's see what messages come up for you. What additional guidance is there for the sign of Sagittarius for July 2017? Wow. Move. So I kind of feel for the most of you, this does represent movement. I feel like, you know, you're connecting, especially for those of you where you feel like you have not been connecting. There's been fighting, there's been bickering, there's definitely confusion in this reading. You have felt kind of stuck as far as changing things. This is kind of, you know, positive movement. I also feel like it's people connecting again. We kind of see two people kind of, you know, symbolically here tied together. So I feel like you're kind of renewing that bond that you once had. So I feel like this is positive movement for you in your relationships. Let's see what other messages come up for you. And the cards that I'm pulling, this might be your message, the next one might be your message, or all of them might be your message. See, I feel drawn to this one right here. Wow. Coming together. So I kind of feel like things are falling into place for you. That's probably why I got this message of beginning, middle, end of the month. So for some of you, you might kind of feel a little bit powerless in the beginning of the month. But I feel like things slowly start to fall into place for you. Like you start to figure things out, why things are not happening, why things have not been happening the way that you hoped. So I feel like this is also a message of hope, that things are not hopeless. I do feel like there's action you have to take. For those who are single, I feel like, you know, this is a time where you're definitely could be coming together with your life partner, a significant soulmate. This is just, I feel like for you, the month of July is a time to really kind of heal and come together and really kind of put your differences behind you. Let's see, one more. What other message is there for Sagittarius? I already feel drawn to a card back here. Embrace. So again, this is just like a message to just kind of embrace each other, like put your differences behind you. So for most of you, this is just a message that yes, you have differences, yes, there have been arguments, but this is really, you know, as this card says, a time of coming together. So I feel like for a lot of you, like you're finally maybe seeing the problem, but at the same time you're really kind of embracing each other. Like yes, we have issues, but we still love each other. We still want to be together. It's also a message of acceptance, which is kind of embrace. If you have differences, and I keep saying differences because of the Five of Wands here. Again, this is a card of just kind of different, you know, different people, egos clashing because you're so different. This is a message to embrace each other, no matter, you know, what your differences are. It's a time where you're really coming together. There's positive movement, but you really kind of have to accept and embrace each other, and things are finally coming together for you. Okay, Sagittarius, this has been your love reading for July 2017. Hope you enjoyed it, and I will speak to you again next month.